Hello, my name is Robert Vaughn. I'm with the development group of JBG Smith. I hope that everyone had a safe, healthy, and enjoyable Memorial Day weekend. I'm here today to provide an overview of our 4.1 application for 101 12th Street, a new 9-story office building being proposed for Northern Crystal City. This presentation will be the first in a series of presentations to provide information and solicit public feedback as part of the new virtual process that Arlington County has established given the ongoing COVID crisis. Today, I will be providing a high-level overview of the project, with subsequent presentations providing significantly more detail on specific components being proposed. This is a quick agenda going over the topics that will be covered as part of this presentation. The 101 12th Street site sits at the northern portion of Crystal City at the intersection between Long Bridge Park and Crystal Drive and is highlighted here in blue. The site was identified in the Crystal City sector plan as a potential development opportunity. And for context, the site is surrounded with existing office buildings to the west, condo buildings to the south, and an apartment building to the north, with Long Bridge Park, the railroad tracks, and Roach's Run sitting to the east. The site is currently improved as a passive green space. However, I would note that there is no existing easement or other agreement that would establish the space for perpetual use as a Arlington County public open space. The sector plan provided guidance for what a potential development should look like and also the key objectives that it should seek to achieve. It identified a maximum height of 110 feet, which we have submitted in compliance with. And in terms of key community benefits, the sector plan identified Gateway Park, which is over an acre of public open space that sits at the intersection of Long Bridge and Crystal Drive, and also the establishment of South Ball Street, which would create an infrastructure link between existing 12th and 10th Streets. Getting into some of the details of the proposed building, the application seeks to rezone this site to CO Crystal City. We have proposed a building height in compliance with sector plan guidance at 110 feet. The 9-story building would contain approximately 235,000 square feet of office, with 5,000 square feet of retail being proposed between 2 ground floor spaces at each of the corners along 12th Street. We have proposed bicycle parking in accordance with Arlington County regulations. And for this project, we're proposing to build one level of below-grade parking that would accommodate between 65 to 70 spaces, with the balance of the requirement being satisfied by existing excess parking at the adjacent 201 12th Street garage, which is a building that JBG Smith also owns. Here is a site plan that has been annotated to help direct you to how the building would function. You can see that the main building entry would come off of 12th Street. The 2 retail spaces that I mentioned previously are highlighted in purple. The loading is proposed to come off of new South Ball Street, with parking off of the existing 10th Street Circle. There's also a pedestrian and bicycle entry to the at-grade bicycle room off of the circle. And one of the site characteristics that I did want to highlight, as noted on this slide, there's approximately 13 feet of elevation change from existing 12th Street to the 10th Street Circle. And that provided both a challenge and an opportunity for how we thought about programming the podium so that we created active uses along the future landscape connection between the existing 10th Street Circle and Long Bridge. Moving into renderings of the proposed building, you can see in the upper right-hand corner, there's a map with a red dot indicating the vantage point of the rendering. So this is as if you were standing at the connection between Long Bridge and Crystal Drive. The proposed building is primarily a metal panel and punch window architectural language that transitions to a more transparent curtain wall along the east side. There is a 2-level podium that is accented with stone panels to indicate entries for both the retail and office office lobby. In this rendering, you would be standing on existing 10th Street, looking back east. You can see the new South Ball Street in the bottom right-hand corner of the page going back up to 12th Street. And you can start to see the podium that transitions towards a stone material as the elevation change comes down. The landscape connection that I mentioned between the northern portion of our proposed project and Crystal Lofts is one of the key opportunities that we identified to enhance the existing connection for pedestrians and bicyclists going up towards Crystal Drive and Long Bridge. That is an area that we have been focusing on in coordination with the adjacent property owner and staff for both how that enhanced connection might be established and how it would coordinate with the proposed future park space. This is a view looking back west as if you were standing in the future park space. You can see the punch window and metal panel transitioning to the curtain wall. And you can also see how we have started to incorporate more transparent activated uses with the tenant fitness center and yoga studio into that northern portion of the podium, and then moving much more solid as you get to where the parking garage is proposed. This is a view on 12th Street looking back east. Again, you can see the podium wrapping around and stepping down as you go north along the new South Ball Street, with the tower mimicking that architectural move in order to accommodate the elevation change. In terms of building height, we have proposed the office building at 110 feet, consistent with sector plan guidance, with a 20-foot tall mechanical penthouse. In this section, you can also see how there's retail along the ground floor level of 12th Street that transitions to office space along the north side, and then how the parking garage has been fit within the higher elevation of the project that then transitions to the fitness center as you move towards that landscape connection. The typical floor plan for the building is approximately 24,000 square feet, designed around a center core with essentially column-free space on both the northern and southern sides. From a parking standpoint, we are proposing to build one level of below-grade parking that would accommodate somewhere between 65 to 70 spaces, with the balance of the parking requirement being satisfied at the existing 201 12th Street building. As part of this strategy, we are contemplating improvements to both vertical transportation through the implementation of new elevators, as well as proposed open space and sidewalk enhancements, so that a worker who's parking at 201 12th Street has a more pleasant experience walking along towards the proposed 101 12th Street building. In terms of the garage level programming, as I mentioned, because of the significant grade change on the site, the northern portion of that level becomes exposed. And given our desire to create an activated landscape connection from the existing 10th Street Circle up to Long Bridge, we really focused on how to incorporate those types of uses so that you weren't just walking adjacent to a solid wall. So you can see the pedestrian entry that leads into a at-grade and enhanced bicycle parking facility. There are locker rooms, and then a fitness center and yoga workout studio, with the garage being located on the southern portion of the site, again, taking advantage of that grade change. One of the key priorities the sector plan outlined for this project was the establishment of Gateway Park, which is denoted here as number 2. Gateway Park is over an acre of public open space that will be dedicated along with this project. This slide shows some of the open space improvements that we have proposed as part of this project. You can see new South Ball Street coming through with new sidewalk and street trees. The proposed pedestrian connection along the northern side of the project, you can see providing a pathway off of the circle going back towards Long Bridge. And then this slide also shows the portion of Gateway Park that sits in between the western side of the Long Bridge connection and the eastern side of the proposed project that is dashed here in yellow. This is a key opportunity for coordination with both the community and staff for how we can best design our both the office building and the proposed open space improvements to coordinate with the programming for that future open space. This is a view showing the potential connection between the retail space at the southeast corner of our building and that proposed park space. This is something that we are very excited about and we think provides both a great amenity to Northern Crystal City, as well as a nice respite for people or patrons using that park space and coming down into Crystal City. The other key objective that the sector plan outlined for this project was the establishment of New South Ball Street. We did propose constructing New South Ball Street in accordance with the sector plan guidance as part of our application. The finer and technical details around the engineering of the road and how it will be implemented are still being worked out with county staff, and subsequent presentations will contain significantly more detail about how that road will be installed. I want to thank you very much for your time. This is a project that we are very excited about and very much look forward to getting feedback from the community. I hope that everyone is staying safe and healthy, and very much look forward to the time when we can be having this conversation in person rather than me giving a virtual presentation. Thank you.